Between the elegant Pincio and the banks of the Tiber, Piazza del Popolo opens up into an enormous ellipse. Churches, fountains, monuments, and marble memoirs of historic events in Rome, both ancient and modern, tastefully embellish this massive square. Since antiquity, the city's northern entrance formed a vestibule into the city through the gate in the Aurelian walls. Now known as the Porta del Popolo, or People's Gate, it has had various names over the centuries. The Egyptian obelisk of Ramesses II, second in age and height only to the one that stands in front of the Basilica of St. John Lateran, was originally brought to the city by the Emperor Augustus, who placed it in the Circus Maximus. On the east side of the piazza, against the steep slope of the Pincio, is the terminal of the aqueduct, with a fountain representing the goddess Rome, armed with lance and helmet. Twin churches stand at the far end of the square, emphasizing the elegant lines of the trident, as the three streets, Via del Babuino, Via del Corso, and Via di Ripetta, which radiate out of the square, are known, adding depth and perspective to the overall picture. Two large marble groups stand at the center of each hemicycle of the square. Here Neptune is depicted between two tritons, a typical Baroque theme developed in the neoclassical style. Rome's splendid squares contribute greatly to its considerable charm. Any visit to the city must include time to soak in the main squares, each of which enchants with its unique atmosphere. Stretching from above Piazza del Popolo to the top of the Via Veneto, Villa Borghese crowns Rome in a glorious canopy of green. Despite the passing centuries and extensive developmental changes to Rome, Villa Borghese has remained a green and pleasant space, diluting the impact of an otherwise ever-expanding urban metropolis. The park was originally a private vineyard, redesigned and enlarged to grandiose proportions for Pope Paul V's nephew, the Cardinal Scipione Borghese. However, it was named after the Borghese family since it was the location of their residence, the most luxurious and magnificent dwelling in Rome. The secret garden is a charming feature characteristic of Italian parks and gardens of the Renaissance and Baroque periods, when there was a revival of interest in all things ancient. These lovely enclosed spaces, often near their owners' homes, were reserved for privileged guests. Such places are imbued with an atmosphere of seclusion, secrecy, and tranquility, adding new dimensions of beauty to their surroundings. In the 1700s, after a major expansion and restoration project in the park, the lake garden was added to the Valley of the Plane Trees by the English designer Jacob Moore. During the 19th century, it became a center for festivals and public events, often with flamboyant and colorful firework displays and water games in the fountains or on the lake. As it is a pleasant place to stroll on a fine day, it became a favorite place for leisure time activities such as boating. With its tranquil atmosphere, graceful trees, relaxing fountains, romantic walkways, and evocative views of the city set off to perfection at sundown, the lake and secret gardens are the perfect spot to while away a summer afternoon. The wild and exotic animals that once roamed the park, together with the numerous birds, even before the biopark was built, made the Villa Borghese Gardens enormously popular in earlier centuries. Villa Borghese is the largest public park in Rome. It features a lake, temples, fountains, statues, and several museums. The Borghese Gardens offer a pleasant refuge from the busy streets of the city center. Dating back to the 17th century, the principal role that the Piazza delle DEEZER fulfilled before becoming Piazza della Repubblica was as the site of the city meat market. The square was enclosed by imposing colonnades in the late 19th century and filled with shops. It was officially renamed the Piazza della Repubblica at the end of the Second World War, with the downfall of the Italian monarchy. Piazza della Repubblica is most famous for the 4 magnificent representations of nude nymphs in the Fountain of the Naiads. Each figure lies on top of an aquatic animal representing water in its 4 principal guises: a seahorse for the oceans, a water snake for rivers, a swan for lakes, and a lizard for subterranean streams. The poses of the figures give the impression that they are enjoying where they are and what they are doing. Santa Maria del Popolo ranks as one of the most important monuments from the Roman Renaissance, not only from an architectural point of view, but also in terms of the paintings and sculptures that distinguish this place as a museum of Renaissance art.